Welcome to another presentation in this Mastery Empowerment course series on self-empowerment and miracles. Today, our guest is a beautiful soul who brings in divine healing transmissions from master divine healers and teachers from the realms of light. This is such a beautiful time, and we're so glad you can all join us. Let's meet Aurora Juliana Ariel. Hi, Aurora. Thank you for being here.
Aloha, and so grateful to be with you.
We are excited for this. My co-host Lori Rayon is with us. Lori has been working with the whales as well and communicating with those beautiful angelic beings, higher wisdom, and bringing this forward. As we know in this empowerment series, when we do this work, when we empower ourselves, that really is where miracles take place in our lives. Our lives actually transform in wonderful ways. And we're excited about this. And we're excited about the divine healing transmissions that you're going to offer. First, we'd like to know more about how you stepped into this work. What was that like? Can you share that with us?
Yeah, it's been an amazing, unexpected calling. If you think of a barefoot beach girl in Malibu, California, riding her horse and not really knowing anything about the planet and the conditions that so many face, and all of a sudden starting to have divine healing transmissions in my teens, and was inwardly guided on a mystic path that was very far afield of anything I knew or had grown up in. And it began there with an awakening, a remembrance that I was here to be a vessel of healing and light on the planet, which I know you sister souls are a part of, and hundreds of millions of us are a part of. And it was a series of visions and teachings from master teachers that would come from the higher realms. And I saw the world and I saw the present planetary equation, and I was shown two pathways, and one that had been prophesied by Casey and other seers, which I had never read about at the time, of the whole cataclysmic undoing of a world. But I was shown a different pathway, and that we had, so many of us had prepared to come in for this time to be lights on the planet, to showcase the awakening, the self-empowerment, self-actualization, and that we would take on the karma and patterns of the lineages of Earth. But we would work through them, we would transform them, and we would be demonstrating the ascension into our authentic selves. And in doing that, we would be showcasing a way out of the maze or the matrix of unconsciousness for all of humanity, and be pulling people onto a better timeline, a more beneficent, with a beneficent future that I feel is encoded in all of our hearts.
Wow. Okay, that's really fascinating. So you said you were a teenager when you started receiving divine healing transmissions. What was going on in your life at the time? Was there any trauma, or was it just your own little awakening that happened? And how did you come to trust what you were receiving? Most people would think that they were going crazy or just shut it down. How did you embody that, accept it, incorporate it?
I was in a very innocent, open child with a pretty idyllic, for a lot of years in Malibu, childhood. And as I started having visitations and awakening, I started remembering. And that one critical thing at 16 I remembered finally was, I'm here for a purpose, but I didn't know how it would translate. And I didn't know, I had never heard about being a vessel of healing and light, but I had a knowing when all that happened, and a connectedness and rightness. And I knew in that moment all I needed to do was follow my inner divine self, which I've done unfailingly to this day, and as best as I have been able to with everything that we have to contend with. And as the divine ones were coming, I also gained entrance to the higher realms to where I could transport, not in an astral travel mode, but more of a finer body, ethereal body transport, and commune and see realms of light and beings of light. And for me, there was so much strangeness eventually around channeling, because people that I saw maybe didn't have discernment of who's who coming through, and I have inner sight and awareness and very fine-tuned to the energies and the beings and can see them. And so I naturally have avoided astral energies, strange ET energies, and just held with the realms of light and the master teachers. So for a very long time, I didn't do any transmissions until in 2014, the Divine One said, now we're going to be doing soul healing remedies and you'll be giving divine healing transmissions. And all of a sudden I was put all over the planet on summits everywhere, and that's what everyone wanted out of me. And I'm like, oh no. I said, okay, because before, if Mother Mary came in, I was giving you a session, I would just tell you what she's saying. I wouldn't have my voice used, but I'm in the process of it, I'm just very much attuned, like everyone is, to receive, and I'm in my higher self, which is a connector point, and then I'll be looking at them, but they'll use my voice to transmit, and not only a message, but they will be doing lots of healing. Like, for instance, right now, this gives me that feeling on your arm. So we have archangels present with us. We've got a lot of elementals, divine, higher order, from the nature kingdoms. We actually have Elohim above, hierarchy above the archangels with us right now. Mother Mary, of course, she sponsored this global healing ministry in the Temple of Sacred Alchemy. And we have some divine masters. And what that means is lots of work is being done right now without me doing a transmission, where a lot is getting transmitted and for the benefit of all beings. And it even goes beyond planet days. And then we'll see what the divine ones say when we get to it. And I'll see if I can tune into some of the things that are going on for us. A lot of things that are normal are cleansing of the pineal, which gets that crystally energy over it a lot of times just from the toxins of this world. Balancing of the brain chemistry, that's been a big one because humanity under so much stress and the things that happen in life, it's so essential to have our brain chemistry balanced so that we can access our high self and embody that and be clear and directed and attuned, right? So we need our pineal attuning us to the higher frequencies, and so we can receive and have the guidance and be vessels of the divine, and then our brain chemistry balance, and there's a lot of miracles that can happen physically. And the biggie is the sacred alchemy that occurs in our psyche and our subconscious. So a lot of programming, parts of us programmed, and belief structures and things that are creating all the messes in our lives get transformed, and we leap onto even a more refined, better future line just from the transmission. So that's what's happening right now, and it will be for whoever watches this in the future. That light will be flowing and everyone will receive a blessed gift. And if anyone wants to just hold their hand on their hearts and do a quiet prayerful intention for their family members, for our planet, for the blessed elementals, for themselves, then that will even bring in that a level of the permission level to be assisted on all those levels. And I'm sure you know we need to invoke the light and the beings of light so that the doorways can open to the higher realms and they can bless our world. They just don't come mess with our world and give everybody enlightenment and peace when all of humanity are willing something different. So by all of us coming together, by all of us aligning, by our daily invocations, the hosts of light can do so much. And for me, it's just been a blessed life with their presence, their guidance, their teachings, helping me figure out what's going on in my life, and the deeper meetings, and their help guide and lead me to fulfill my destiny, as I know they're helping many.
It
So
feels
beautiful.
really good. Yes.
Yeah, the lights feels good.
It feels really, really
I love
good.
it. I love it.
I'm sure that everyone can feel it. Lori, are you sensing it as well? I mean, it just
Yeah,
puts a
I
smile
am.
on my face.
Yeah. And Aurora, I'd just love to have you just take a couple minutes if you would, because we have the commonality of working with the great elders on the planet, who, of course, are the whales. I know that in some way they contribute through you as you're the vessel or the oracle for this wisdom that they offer us from their multi-million years of experience here. And I know they're part of your sacred temple of that you call the Temple of Alchemy. And I'm just curious if you want to comment on that or share in some way that people can access this incredible wisdom and healing, because you're certainly a voice, and a messenger for their healings and for the great wisdom that they offer us.
I've been hugely honored by their presence, especially when I lived in Hawaii. I had different points of time where I communed with a mother whale and her baby, and royally was zapped. I was taken into an altered state of being, one time on a boat, one time in a little kayak, when I was like, felt like whale rider cruising about
Ah,
10,
yeah.
20 feet from mama and the baby, and cruising along, and got to a point off of Grand Wailea off in Maui where there I was like surrounded by the whole presence of many whales, and the mother whale who had talked to me a few years before on the boat and had taken me to show me the universe, how much light's around the planet, the beings of light that are around the planet, and had told me that I would see the change. And that was the first time of going with a whale into the vastness of their consciousness, and also being guided by and brought into this incredible dynamic experience. Now I was this little kayak person with a big whale and whales around me, and she started speaking again, and I was with her and them, almost like feeling like on a different planet, just bathed in their light, bathed in that consciousness of pure God consciousness. And I cannot remember what was said, but when I came out of it, it was like endless time had passed. And I realized, oh my gosh, I'm in the middle of the ocean in a little kayak. And I was like miles off the shore, but I had been caught up and transfigured, and that lasted for days. They've also spoken. I've been giving for over, well, almost next year in July will be the end of the 9th year of monthly global healing forums. I invite people in from around the world, and we open up the doorways of light from the higher realms and have different sponsors every month that come and gift us, while all the hosts of light do a mighty work for us and the planet. And we've seen Elohim cleaning up the records of wars, things getting activated to bless our world, and all these things. And so the whales and also the dolphins, have graced the forum and brought their wisdom, and their voice is, I would say, the most echoing elder voice I've ever heard. I've
Yeah.
dialogued with so many divine ascended masters, archangels, Elohim, great cosmic beings, seraphim, from a lot of years, and elemental beings, where you can feel their voice, hear their, telepathically their voice. There's something very vast and rippling and echoing kind of in the voice of that mother whale. And
Yes.
the years later, she had a new baby, and but it was her again, her voice, her energy. It's something that hard to describe. I'm doing my best with it. But when you're in it, it's like a vast consciousness. You enter a oneness, a vastness. It goes forever. You go forever. And it's echoey. That's the only thing I can. Have you felt that at times?
Have,
Like
and I think you're doing a good job with words because it is very indescribable in the presence of whales. And our work, of course, is always to encourage people to connect with them in any way they can. I believe they're the greatest healers this planet has ever known. Of course, they are the elders. They can access your Akashic records just through, your giving permission to connect with them. But the wisdom that they bring and it's the ambiance, I guess you'd say, is
yeah,
bliss. It's
yeah.
like a deity. It's so high that,
It's a
uh,
massive,
and I
yeah.
also believe that you understand too at some level the fact that the dolphins are here as toothed whales, of course, to help us reach that whale frequency. I believe that's part of their purpose here because I'm not certain that humanity would have reached any communication with whales without the dolphins' assistance. So I have the greatest respect for both of them and for your work and for others too that connect and communicate with these great ones, the cetaceans. So I appreciate you sharing from that perspective because I think it's important as we come to self empowerment and we find our freedom that these are the beings that are demonstrating what we're seeking.
They live it. Yeah, and I
They
often
live
wonder
it.
because I've had so many encounters with dolphins. Of course, I have the one book out with stories from around the world. It's so mind blowing that they're in this high consciousness, yet they're like playing and dancing around you and splashing, but you're getting zapped, you're getting altered. They'll talk to you, you're getting downloaded. So much goes on. And I've often wondered until I saw more clearly, are they aware that they are activating us
Oh
and
yeah. Oh
accelerating our
definitely.
consciousness? Are they okay, we'll zoom over here and zap them? Or are they just in that God conscious state and their vehicles and vessels of the divine awakening healing that's coming through many beings in this time into our earth, into for all of us? So I wondered because they've done funny things and they're so conscious. Like one time I was staying at Kelikakua on the Big Island to edit that book for about a month. And the first day I dipped in the water to swim with the dolphins in Kelikakua Bay, a beautiful female one came racing over underwater and brought me the most gorgeous, fluffy gold leaf. And I'm like,
I love that.
oh, do you want to play? And no, that she was gifting me. I'm like, wow. And as I'm taking it in, the physical, just holding it and just taking the experience in, I'm thinking, wow, this is significant. I've had a lot of interactions, but a gift like this at this moment. And then all of a sudden, a male came zooming in and he came up to like 1 foot. I'm underwater with my snorkel and goes shooting up at the last minute. And I lift my head out of the water, get royally splashed. And then I just started laughing. I went, do you guys know I'm finishing up the dolphin book? And they came and greeted me, and of course it was a magical 30 days there because every time with these beings is so magical in its own way, and you never know what's going to happen next. But
Well,
yeah,
that's
feel
the truth. You don't.
feel very
Yeah,
great.
I believe that they're globally, internationally, bigger than that, cosmically aware of everything, all the time. But I also believe that they use their free will and their personal consciousness to connect to individual humans and groups of humans and, seek us out, so to speak, to help us in various ways. I believe both. I mean, people change when they're just in the presence. I mean, even just for years, I've taken people, out on boats and people shift just in that one boat trip, particularly the children shift.
Yeah.
But also that, I know from years of working with them telepathically, like you said, they come to us etherically. simply just by us summoning just that thought that I'd like to, like right now, everybody's connecting to dolphins and whales, even if they don't know it, and they're
Yeah.
helping us. But yet there can be an individual exchange too, like with your book. They very, very much came to help you with that and to let you know that they're supporting you. You know, that's beautiful.
Yeah, I've had a lot of dry land, ethereal connections and communications with them, not
Yeah.
necessarily all going into the water to do it. So anyone around the
Right.
world
Right.
can
Yeah.
commune. I mean, one of the last times I was in Osiak Lake in up in the Alps of Austria. And out of the blue, these three that came in that I write about in my story that were my first amazing experience with dolphins and ethereal ones came in and gave me a very important destiny message and timing message. And I was so surprised to see them because it's been many years since I saw those ones. And here they were again. So they ignited a really critical destiny point for me way back when on Oahu in Makua. And then here, these years later, but they're the ones that initiated the Earth to 2020, 2012 to 2033. I'm like, okay, what year are we in? That series of books, they're the ones that launched it. And the fourth book is all about the encounters with dolphin, but the books really do speak to this time of awakening we're in and how we've got so much help from all these beings on many dimensions that are supporting us to wake up, to remember, to fulfill our destinies.
Yeah. Thank you so much. They are the sacred alchemy, aren't they? They literally
Yeah, working the
live and breathe it.
alchemy. Yeah.
Hmm. Yes, the dolphins are like the physical representations of this higher light in our world. And when
Mhm.
we get to experience being with them, the cetaceans, the whales as well, it's just so beautiful. And I think there's a growing appreciation for the whales and the dolphins as more people come in to experience how they feel, how they shift from episodes and exchanges like that. So thank you, Aurora. You're going to be doing a healing transmission. This one is quantum self-activation and a destiny alignment and actualization. So before we start with that, is there anything else you wanted to share about the Temple of Sacred Alchemy? And then we'll begin.
Well, Mother Mary came in the year 2000 with the scent of roses in a beautiful ethereal form and announced to me that she was here to sponsor Sacred Alchemy, my life's work, which is the inner transformation of self in the world, and that it would help so many people. And she showed me visions of that, which have come true and are coming true of many, many people being blessed by this, because when we do our own inner alchemy and we transform these baser aspects of self, these subconscious parts of us, back to the gold of our true nature, then there's a connecting in link up with all beings, with all souls on that subconscious level, that psyche, the soul, where all the corruption is, all the messes are that are being outpictured in our physical reality. So I had developed this, mastered it, been on a whole quest for what is the cause of suffering and to bring a cure and then other remedies for different things, of different ailments for all the years, and passed through a significant dark night of the spirit passage where it's like a wrecking ball came in and knocked down everything I had created. And I was standing in the rubble of that, actualizing and awakening at rapid points, because at every point of this dark night passage with all the different hits and losses going on over months, I was working the alchemy. I was doing the quest 7 steps that I give to humanity, and I was rising and getting clear, and everything dissolved out, and I was transported into meeting my beloved, ending up on Maui from Oahu, and bringing out all these offerings to the world. So she came at that critical point and initiated the Temple of Sacred Alchemy, the quest, 7 steps. A few years later, helped me put it into a form where people can do their own self-healing, self-counseling, and transform anything from within. And then also all the other facets to this ministry, this global healing ministry. Has a lot of offerings: music, audios, books, and retreats, and classes, and mystery school, and global healing forums every month. So she was the icon. 2 years later, lots of masterful beings came in over hours and came and filled 33 seats as spiritual board of directors of this ministry with their entourages and beloveds. So it was a massive amount. And since then, everything that you see, all the offerings have been divinely guided, initiated, orchestrated, facilitated. I'm just good at keeping transforming, rising up, being as pure vessel as I can, and then as I am my highest self, linking in a co-creation with them. All these blessings have really flowed forth for so many souls. So it's exciting. And when everybody experiences this global, the healing right now, it's going to go global. It's going to go beyond. It's going to help multidimensional levels, even astral plane beings, help souls stuck, need to go to the light. It's going to help so many. And it's something that happens every month, second Saturday of every month in Global Healings. So that's open to the world. And the transmission is just them sharing really relevant, timely things for us. But beyond that is a lot of healing, like I said, activations and clearings, and people might feel things lifting up and off, and their bodies turning to light, and their quantum cells getting activated. So to understand the quantum self activation, our authentic self is actually bigger than our bodies. It is our true spirit that's been called the indwelling spirit, the higher self. And a lot of times in the past, or most of the time, people didn't have access to it. And when people started meditating and coming into awakening, they started going up the crystal cord to connect with higher self. But now it's really about clearing the way of all these programs that have kept it out of our physicality so that it can come physical. And when our divine self comes physical, it transfigures the soul, which is the part of us that gets corrupted with all the patterns and programs and beliefs. And then that corrupts the body. So it helps to transform and raise the body. And that's how Jesus, Babaji, and others, Siddhartha, were able to raise the body. They had this alchemical equation going on, the transformation of the shadow aspects of self, the raising of self to receive fully, and instead of going up and out, leaving our little problems and spiritual bypassing, we're actually clearing, and then it comes down in and through. And so our spirit's the uncorruptible, forever free, always wise, always illumined, knows no ills of any kind, hasn't been affected by our physical ailments and things we've gone through or done. And then our soul is the little projected down vehicle, and then the body that gives us this 3D experience or multidimensional experience, and then the body houses it. So then now it's really about bringing that self, the authentic self, which is really a quantum self. It is so huge, where it really goes up all the chakras, links up in the divine, has its divine presence on the higher realms, and can come fully physical within us. And that's the keynote right now that I believe for humanity is now it's time to resurrect the bodies. Now it's time to really clear out the shadow self and stop running the human self and stop being under amnesia, but waking up, remembering, being, and allowing this quantum self to manifest its glory, because as it does that, we get Eden on earth. We get the positive future outcome. We all get to reap the beneficence of a blessed life, because that's its coding. Whereas the subconscious coding is every misery, lack, and challenge. This is the one that we want to replace that. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to hone into our Heartlight Center and get ready and acclimated, and then the divine ones coming in and sharing with us, and then their activation of us. So I hope everyone's going to be able to feel themselves rising into their glory, but also feel grounded and centered in their self, and not up and away, but in, and it all coming in. And that way we're going to get massive physicality to it, or the transforming every atom, cell, electrons for our being, the subconscious aspects flying up as if they were ghosts and transforming to light, reintegrating and realigning. And so we're going to get a full alignment in our divinity with our destiny, and a full actualizing. It's already happening. I don't know if you can feel it. It's already happening. I mean, I don't even have to give the transmission, but we will give the transmission, because it's just a blessed thing to receive and be a part of.
Thank you.
Okay.
I think we're all looking forward to this.
Yeah.
I love it. Just being in the waterfall of light.
Mhm. Okay, thank you.
So are we going to go into that now, or are we going to talk about the offerings? Or because later, right after it, it's better just to let everybody, like you play some music and let everyone just anchor in it, not have anything more said. Otherwise they'll come up out of it to the mental level again. We're going to drop down really deep. So anything we want to get done before that would be good.
We are ready to bliss out in that way then, Aurora. Okay, then on this webpage that we're looking and watching this program on, there is a description of your special offer. Thank you so much for this. It does include the Global Healing Forums, and our audience can check that out. And then you also have a couple of other programs, in-person events. So tell us briefly about your special offer.
Okay, so I think number one has books and the monthly global forums for a few months, so people can feel that. The divine ones have asked for reciprocity, so normally people give a 33 or above donation. Everybody gets the audio, and then a of both the Global Healing Forum and the activation on its own to have in your home libraries. And lots of people like to play them 33 days after, and then whenever they want that light coming in. It's really good for your community, your business, everything. Then I think the second one is just 6 months of that in the audios. And so you really get to participate in this global community of being vessels of the light and getting transfigured and transformed and upgraded every month. And then there's 2 offerings with $100 off each. What these are is really advanced, pretty miraculous, sacred alchemist, and then sacred destiny retreats. So the one coming up early year is the quantum regeneration, age reversing, advanced healing retreat. I blend the sacred alchemy and these amazing circles we have where we're dealing with all kinds of physical ailments and transforming them, getting ready for the very, very advanced cutting edge stem cell IV therapy, which is age reversing and anti-aging. It's so cutting edge right now that they can't even do it to this degree in the US or Europe, or so you've got to go to Mexico. I'm working with top doctors in the field of anti-aging, and I'm a member of the American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine, and with a lot of top people in the field like Dr. David Sinclair and others that are doing breakthroughs of reversing aging, taking mice and making them youthful, and all, ending blindness, and all these miraculous things that are occurring right here and now on Earth today. So we go and we spend a few hours at the clinic, and we get the IV, which then completely does a full transformation for us. Stem cells last in your body 6 to 8 months. They go and repair everything that is in need and up level and restore your cellular system, your physical system, your organs, everything. And so they're like a light force that goes in your body through the IV. It's miraculous. I've got them running right now through my being because we were just there in June, and I tune into them periodically. And wherever there's a call, they go in and repair. And of course, I've seen miracles, people that couldn't walk very well with their knee for years, having that clear right up by the next day, blood pressure down, off medicine, heart medicine, brain chemistry more balanced, clear, directed, more inner sight. So there's a lot of blessings. The other one is coming up in May, and that is the Sacred Destiny Sedona. That's at a gorgeous site in the glorious lands and magical lands of Sedona. And we do a lot of alchemy and transfiguration and time altars. And then and those two are open for everybody listening, and with $100 discount, and you just click on the link and it'll take you right there, and you can email me to get more information. But there is a lot on the information that you go to that'll fill you in. And so that's it. There's 4, and everybody just tune in and see what might be right for you and what can really help you on this next level, and to get that quantum leap to your next level of your destiny unfoldment.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Beautiful. Again, no matter where you're watching or listening to this program, you'll find a link in the description box to access that special offer if you're not already on this page. Wow. Again, so beautiful, the work that you contribute to the planet through the higher realms. Thank you for that. All right. So this is our space to experience the divine healing transmission and enjoy. And Lori, any comments?
I'm just so appreciative of your presence here today and the work you're doing in the world. Everything that you've described and that you bring to us falls so perfectly into self empowerment, which is, of course, the foundation of creating our true, authentic selves and our freedom. So we're so happy that you could be a part of this summit. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here with everyone. And it's all of us together. We're all in it together, and we're the ones. We're hundreds of millions of us awakening, sharing our
Yes.
offerings, helping pull all of humanity onto a happier path into a more enlightened future. So it's always a joy
This
to
is our time, isn't it? So we rise up and claim our true selves. Yeah.
yeah. And the one thing I would like to share with everyone is don't let yourself be daunted by weird things coming up and out of you and displaying the shadow self. There's been so much trying to get it trapped down, cover it over with, tons of dirt, and let's not look at that. But really, it's so important to embrace the aspects of self, because we're getting activated majorly. You go out with the whales, you're getting activated. You're listening this, you're getting activated. When we get activated and the light's pouring in, what has to happen? The darkness that's in there needs to move, and it gets dislodged, and it comes up into our view. That's when you need to be a master of sacred alchemy, inner transformational work. Embrace those parts of self. They're forever the human condition on this planet, and what all the humans here have had to deal with before we came to help show the way out. So as we transform them and we come back to ourselves on a whole nother level, we're displaying to humanity energetically. People around us might not really know, but all of the world knows the leaps and bounds and activations and things we're undergoing in the awakening. there is an awareness on that deeper level. And so as we demonstrate that and masterfully get to the inner work, don't make a big deal about it. We don't need a lot of dramas and traumas. Just embrace that part. It could be angry and screaming. It'll calm right down and tell you its story. It wants to be healed. And we can just go through life just shortening the time of misery, accelerating our path, and rising to ever new octaves of our brilliant, amazing, illumined selves. And when we understand this equation, then we don't need to feel bad about ourselves or hold shame or guilt. We're just like, okay, here's the next one. Here's the next angry one. Here's a jealous one. Here's a frustrated one. Here's a procrastinating one. And we just transform them and get them back to their innate divine design.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, here we go.
Okay, so ready to go? Right. You've got Mother Mary over you because she's standing right here in my room in the temple, and she's over the computer screen of you and you both. And anyways, her presence big and vast. And then we've got the archangels, Elohim, divine masters, and these beautiful elemental beings, all manner of elemental beings that are just excited. They come to all the global healing forums. So they attend all the retreats. All right, so let us all just come into that centered place where we open up our hearts fully to this great light release that's been going on for some time now. You can open up your hands or just let them be gentle in your lap, allowing yourself to fully acclimate to the accelerated energies now, dropping in to the physical body, almost like you're coming in and clicking in at that sacral area. As that happens, there's a chemical process of heart opening. So you become aware of your heart light center, that spiritual center that is the heart of your divinity, your divine presence. And tuning in and being in the awareness of that heart, we just see how much light flows forth from us always. And it's so wonderful just to come together and be attuned to and be in the magic of this incredible heart light energies of such purity, love, peace, harmony, all the divine higher qualities of our true natures flowing out to the world from that quantum level, that quantum self level. And now we feel the activations happening where the divine self appears and rises up in and through us, through all the chakras, all the way up to that 12th chakra, and expands its presence out to where now we can see, feel, experience, and embody the full totality of our divinity. A huge giant. We are giants, truly. And our bodies small, and our souls can expand up and out to fully encompass and be one with this quantum self. And again, the heart light center, radiating that pure energy and our unique essence into this world, to where we can understand how precious we are. We are always precious because this is the truth of who we are. And the soul dilemmas and the soul corruption, that's healable, transforming even now, refining, restoring back to the pristine pattern of our unique divine design as we reset ourselves back to the divine coding, the divine beingness of who we really are and who we've always been. Feeling grounded, centered, and clear, heart wide open, expanded to that high self, divinity that we are, that goes all the way down through our bodies, standing firmly on the ground, on the earth, connected in from highest realms to earth realm. Just relaxing now into that graceful beingness as we prepare to receive this most beautiful divine healing transmission today. A gift of gifts from the host of light and the beloved archangels. O beloved, we herald in the new dawn, the light of the ages, the preciousness of life being born anew within you, catalyzing planetary change in a dramatic way that will bring light to the future of this most sacred, blessed planet. You are a divine being, a vessel of great healing and light to the planet. And even now, you are a conduit of a massive release of light, where Elohim from on high and we, the beloved archangels, are now encoding the world with the high frequencies of yours and our divinity, manifest in physical form. Every atom, cell, electron of your beings being quickened now, and all the shadow elements that have constrained you, contained you in lesser versions of yourself now transformed. For as you come into alignment with the quantum self through this activation now, and all the chakras line up and begin spinning in unison with the great universal divine presence, so you find yourself in the glory of your divinity, shining your light, raising your frequency, coming into the unity with us on the higher realms, being that groundedness into the earth, the grounding rod that would allow the light to pour forth and the healing of a planet to now change everything to where every dire potential is being addressed, every ill of humanity transformed, the darkness of the earth, the corruption and more being resolved. And how and why, beloved? Because you are a vessel of divinity. That is your true expression, your birthright on earth. You are not the little self, the human self, the little soul wandering through the dark night of earth. You are an illumined being on higher realms of light who projected a soul body down to be a vehicle of experience in this 3D and multidimensional reality called Earth. And you are able to be transported in this vehicle via the soul body and the physical body, and be able to be so much more than you ever dreamed possible. And why? Because you are the great self, pouring its light, its healing, its talents, its gifts through these vehicles. When you understand this equation of your divinity, when you remember you are divine, not the shadow self, the unconscious self playing out on earth, when you realize that you are so beyond what you even imagine yourself to be, and you open fully to it and allow it to fully change the frequencies of your reality and anchor its presence in and through you, then you can know and understand the import of why you are on earth at this time, why you have come to be a part of the great clan of ascending ones, why you signed up for this great holy purpose. For a world indeed has called, and a humanity who have forever barely evolved out of that human consciousness and the amnesia they were born into, living the fate dictated by these patterns and programs, these beliefs that cause so much dis-ease in this world, and to this world has cried out in pain, the pain of ever new forms of suffering visited upon its people from the encoding within that perpetuates suffering in the earth. And so did your heart be ignited. So did you write in your book of life the precepts that you would set up for your time on earth. So did you prepare what body, what location, what karmic package you would take on, the patterns, the beliefs, and that which you cared most about to help clean up in the earth, to help the souls of earth understand a way out at last when millennia have passed, even hundreds and thousands of years without surcease, without true peace, without illumined ones walking the earth en masse. So this is your time, beloved, our time that we were called to, and it is significant, and all is well under this great divine plan, even despite the roaring plagues and news of disasters everywhere. Understand the darkness rises and is transformed within everyone in this time. And those that are the alchemists working that mighty work of the ages are the ones that are demonstrating the awakening to the full light body, the full reality of divinity in physical form, like the ancient ones who walked this path before. And so the world shifts and changes at a rapid rate. And though there are upheavals everywhere and great suffering, you can walk through it all undaunted, clothed in the raiment of light of who you are, going into that quantum self now that we've helped activate it more fully in your conscious awareness, in your being and world, allowing yourself to focus in that heart light center and be that heart light of love to a planet, grounding in yourself, allowing the alchemy to take place as issues and the darkness rises, and letting yourself rise up into that quantum life and lifestyle, which is a miracle consciousness, which allows Eden on earth in your physical reality, which allows every ill to be transformed, relationships to flourish, for your heart to be light and free, for you to dance the dance of life and be the song of awakening for all. For you are a being free, free in the realms of light, magnificent in all your splendored reality. And on earth, that self is now being downgraded into this physicality to where you are able to embody it more and more. And isn't that a glorious destiny, beloved? Isn't it that which you have longed for? Your freedom, your enlightenment, your peace, your knowingness, the waking up to who you really are, letting go of who you're not, allowing yourself to be a vehicle of great love and healing and blessing for all, to bring forth your talents and gifts, for allowing your creative expression to soar, to be able to love and be loved, and to create a Garden of Eden on earth with other souls who have come to do the same. This is a great time on earth, beloved. Do not lose sight of the glory of this destiny unfolding in and through you. For all of us are together. We are together under the great divine plan, bringing light to a world that was once shrouded in darkness, and helping wake up the blessed souls of earth so they can live more fully in their divine natures and fulfill a higher plan. We love you and we bless you, beloved. We forever grace your life with all the gifts of spirit, and all that you need in every moment is being gifted unto you. Walk forward and trust, beloved. Remember our words and play this whenever you need this inspiration and infusion and activation, as it is always and ever present there for you, for your use, beloved. Blessings to you, dearest hearts. Keep up the good work. Stay strong in the light. Live in joy and anchor Eden on earth in your own reality. and know that the world is coming along with you at its own pace, and that all of humanity and all beings are being touched and blessed by your presence every moment of every day. Blessings to you, beloved ones.
Thank you so much.
Exquisite. Very exquisite. Thank you. We hope that everyone is feeling their quantum self actualized. We're definitely open to it. Thank you.
And we go forward having more fun, doing more playful things, dancing like fairies, and sparkling everyone with our gifts and blessings.
You're such a beautiful gift, Aurora. I know
Mhm.
everyone's going to just emerge themselves in this beautiful essence that you've created. And, this is truly the time of self-empowerment. And you're such a big part of that. We're just so grateful.
Thank you so much. And ditto, feel the same, both of you. And I know everyone that's going to be present and receiving, all of you that are partaking of this. This is who we are. We're all together in it. But we all have our unique little flames and our unique little gifts. And that's also beautiful.
Very, very true. We believe that the summit itself, the speakers and the presentations, and of course the beautiful souls that are listening are helping to bring that oneness back, to where we all don't feel small or insignificant or separate, that we really can bring those gifts together to rise up, globally and cosmically, such an important time. My partner, Master Puda, she always says this is the lifetime you've really waited for. And I believe that's true. So thank you
Yeah.
everyone for being a part of this that's listening.
Thank you for having Hawaii in your background.
Yeah, we do love Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hawaii Nuka Oi.
So magical. We are in those frequencies. We are bathed in the light, and it's so luscious. Wow. Thank you for raising our frequency and empowering us today. Thank you, Lori. And thank you,
Thank you,
Aurora.
Loren.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay. Until next time, the next presentation, we wish you a very beautiful, beautiful time in this moment. Thank you. Namaste.
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 This has been a presentation of New Earth One Network, your home for New Earth living. Access information, education, and videos on living from the heart in unity consciousness. Visit newearth1.com.